Very good morning to all my students. Today's discussion is SCMPE, CA Final Costing Paper, Strategic Cost Management and Performance Evaluation. For coming examination, what are all the areas you should be thorough, how we have to approach for the examination, how to study your preparation strategy, ultimately how to score more mark in SCMP. That is what today's discussion. Hope the session will be useful for you for your better preparation for the coming examination, score more mark. Now, you should be in the position to know what are all the A category item for the coming examination, which area you have to focus more. The first one, case study. Nowadays they are asking minimum one case study, maximum two case studies are there in the question paper. Last past exam trend, if you are going to see, two case studies are coming. First question, compulsory question, 20 mark question. Total number of 6 questions in your examination. First question is a compulsory, 70 mark. Remaining 5 questions, out of which any 4 questions you have to write. Each question carries 20 marks. In that, 2 case studies means 30 to 40 mark is the weightage for case studies alone. So you should be thorough with respect to case studies. For case studies session, mere studying the case study or case study digest which is released by the ICA alone is not sufficient. You have to refer the management theory parts. The other topics you should be pakka. Then only you can understand what is there in this case study. In the sense, case study is equal to, similar to computation of total income. Without having grip over all the 5 heads of income or rental status or set off and carry forward or deductions, mere by way of solving problems in the computation of total income, there is no meaning at all. You can't the person to have the grip. So first you should be conceptually thorough with respect to all the areas. Thereafter only you have to focus on case studies. So the A category items are, first one, case studies. Second one, CVP analysis, cost to volume profit analysis. Dear students, service sector costing has been removed from your syllabus. Relevant costing also not applicable for your syllabus. But service sector costing, case study based questions, rather decision making questions are applicable for the exam. Same manner, relevant costing also, decision making questions applicable. Normal 5 mark questions alone has been removed from their syllabus. Therefore, operating costing service sector also you have to refer for CVP analysis purpose. Relevant costing also you have to study for CVP analysis purpose. In addition to normal key factors, product mix decision, differential costing analysis based questions. In addition to that, you have to refer this also. So we are discussing about the A category item. First one, case study. Second one, CVP analysis. The next important area for the examination is standard costing. With respect to standard costing, normal computation with respect to the 5 heads of variance, material variance, labor variance, variable overhead variance, fixed overhead variance, sales variance. In general, they are not asking in your examination. If at all you have to concentrate, under sales variance, there are 3 approaches are there. Total approach, also called turnover approach. Profit approach, also called margin approach. Third one is contribution approach. In that, you should be thorough with the profit approach and contribution approach for the examination with respect to sales variance. Even fixed variable variance also, fixed overhead variance also, with the calendar variance is important. Unlike old paper, AMA paper, in SCMP paper, they are not asking the separate variance part alone separately for 5 marks. They are asking combined manner all the variance. All the variances with reconciliation is important for the exam. Reconciliation part is important. In that reconciliation, marginal costing approach, absorption costing approach, relevant costing approach, nothing but marginal costing, relevant costing approach with the scarcity of resources, shortage of resource constraint based problem is important. The raw material is in short supply or labor is in short supply. How you have to treat the variance during the reconciliation, that is important. So you have to refer reconciliation based question. That too, marginal cost based reconciliation is the most important for the examination. The combination of all the variance you have to analyze. During reconciliation, that too under marginal costing approach, fixed overhead expenditure variance alone applicable for you. Remaining things in reconciliation, you should not park the amount. Not applicable outright. In the sense, fixed overhead variance can be classified into 2 types. Total fixed overhead cost variance can be classified into expenditure variance and volume variance. Volume variance subclassified into capacity variance, efficiency variance, and calendar variance. While doing reconciliation, in detail you have to do the reconciliation. Started with the budgeted profit and ends with the actual profit. The difference in profit, why? That analysis is called reconciliation. So we have to load all the variance then so that we can be the person to reach from budgeted profit to actual profit. While doing the same, you have to load variance. Material cost variance can be classified into price and usage variance. Usage variance again classified into mix and yield variance. In reconciliation, what and all you have to take? Material price variance, material mix variance, and material yield variance. Combination of all is equal to total variance will come. Rather, you should not consider material cost variance or material usage variance. The subclassification alone, nothing but in detail you are going to do the reconciliation. Similarly, labor also, labor cost variance can be classified into labor rate variance and labor efficiency variance. Efficiency variance further classified into labor mix and revised sub efficiency or revised efficiency variance. During reconciliation, you can take labor price variance, labor rate variance, labor mix variance, labor revised efficiency variance alone have to take. With respect to variable overhead, expenditure and efficiency variance come. Suppose if there is an idle time, then idle time variance also you have to compute. Always remember, idle time variance is always adverse. Actual idle hours into standard rate is equal to idle time variance. So doing the reconciliation, expenditure variance, idle time variance, and revised efficiency variance you have to write. But with respect to fixed overhead variance, it can be classified into expenditure and volume variance. Volume subclassified into capacity, efficiency, and calendar. But during reconciliation, you have to take only expenditure variance alone. Remaining variance you should not consider. You should not park in the reconciliation statement. Because in marginal costing, fixed costs are irrelevant for decision making. Therefore, fixed cost will not form part of the reconciliation. But why we have considered the expenditure variance? If you see, fixed cost irrelevant depending upon the volume of production. The sense of what? Irrespective of the level of quantity, volume of production, our fixed cost remain constant. Therefore, because of the volume, fixed cost will not going to get affected. Therefore, fixed overhead variance you no need to consider at all. Nothing but volume variance you should not supposed to consider. Therefore, how you have to prepare the reconciliation statement? Fixed overhead expenditure variance, whatever the variance is there, as it is you have to take. And remaining variance, nothing but volume variance you have to put not applicable. Then, sales variance. With respect to sales variance, total sales variance can be classified into sales price variance and sales usage, sales price variance and sales quantity variance. Volume variance. The volume again classified into sales mix and sales quantity variance. So, here price variance you can take as it is, whereas sales mix you can take as it is. With respect to quantities concerned, nothing but the volume variance concerned. We have to consider PV ratio, profit volume ratio. In the sense of what? Total sales variance, again we are classified into price. Price is you can take as it is. The remaining volume variance. Total variance, whatever you got it, that you have to multiply with PV ratio, profit volume ratio. Okay, so you have to consider with the profit volume ratio. After applying profit volume ratio, you will get the profit approach, variance based on profit approach. Because we are doing reconciliation for budgeted profit to actual profit. Therefore, impact on profit only you have to take. You have to take only impact on profit. That's the reason you have to consider only volume variance, you have to multiply with the PV ratio. So we are converting into profitable approach, profit approach. Next, during reconciliation, suppose if you come across, during the reconciliation, if you come across shortage of material, shortage of labor like that, okay, with respect to labor shortage or material shortage, then we have to identify contribution loss due to scarcity of resources, how much they utilized, excess utilization of material if any, excess utilization of labor if any, you have to identify. In that, contribution you have to multiply so that contribution variance will get it. That quantity, suppose if it is adverse, that you have to adjust with the material variance alone also, as well as what? Sales variance also. Nothing but we are removing from the sales variance and we are transferring to the respective material variance. Similarly, labor means we are removing the variance impact on labor contribution, that we are going to remove from the sales variance and we are transferring to what? Labor variance. Therefore, because of that, the labor variance may going to change or material variance may going to change depending upon scarcity of resources. So, post exam, 20 more questions available based on what? Reconciliation with shortage of resources, scarcity of resources. That type of case studies question is important for your examination. We are discussing about A category item. First, I have discussed about one. Case study is important one. Second one, I said CVP analysis. In that CVP analysis, decision making with relevant costing is also important. Decision making with the service sector costing is also important. Then we are discussing about the standard costing. In that standard costing, you have to remember sales. In that sales variance, contribution approach and the profit approach is important. In fixed overhead, which calendar is important. Reconciliation is important. Reconciliation with the marginal costing is important for the exam. That too, shortage of resources, that is also important for the examination. This is with respect to marginal costing, first one. Or standard costing, first one. That alone is not sufficient. Advanced approach also you have to remember. with respect to standard costing. What is called advanced approach called market size variance and market share variance. You have to remember market size and market share variance. Based on that also, again 20 more questions, very much chances are there for the exam. What is called the market size variance? Market size got increased, nothing but demand got increased. In this circumstance, the impact will be there. Always they will give two information. One is called the industry, another one is called the company. Industry, sometimes they will call it as a market. In overall market, in overall industry, how much the increase or decrease in the quantum or demand. Thereafter, you have to identify what could be the company share in the industry that you have to identify. If you are going to apply the same, you will get increase or decrease in company's share will come, company's demand will come. Thereafter, you have to multiply with the budgeted contribution. Remember one thing, budgeted contribution per unit, so that you can get market size variance. So, better to remember the format. Industry's budgeted sales quantity, industry's actual sales quantity, difference is equal to increase or decrease in sales quantity due to market size. Multiply with budgeted market share of the companies in the industry. The multiplied answer is called increase or decrease in company's sales quantity. We got the quantitative info that you have to multiply with the budgeted contribution per unit is equal to the variance of market size variance, so that you can get market size variance. The next one is called market share variance. This all comes under advanced approach in standard costing. Market share variance. How to approach the market share variance? What about the industry's actual sales quantity? Industry's actual sales quantity. You have to compare what is the budgeted share, expected share in the market, what is the actual share in the market. So budgeted share, for example, 20%, actual share only 16%. Therefore, reduction in share comes to how much? 4%. Company share, reduction in share in the market comes to 4%. So, industry's actual sales quantity multiply with the reduction in 4% is equal to market share, reduction in sales quantity of the company due to market share. Now you got the sales quantity that you have to multiply with the budgeted contribution per unit is equal to market share variance. This is the way in which you have to compute market share variance. So market size variance and market share variance are most important for the examination, your examination. And doing the reconciliation part also, along with the market size and market share variance will come. In this juncture, reconciliation already we have discussed. Expected profit to actual profit, budgeted profit to actual profit is equal to variance. There we are going to load with all the variance. You have to identify what all the variants are there: material variance, labor variance, variable overhead variance, fixed overhead variance, and sales variance. In sales variance, you have to take sales price variance as it is. Thereafter, you have to consider market size variance and market share variance, whatever you have computed, so that reconciliation will get tally automatically. Rather, you no need to apply volume variance. In previous reconciliation, I said reconciliation with the marginal costing approach, reconciliation with the scarcity of resources, of material or labor, I told. Price variance, sales price variance, sales volume variance, you have to multiply with the profit volume ratio, because we need a profit approach, contribution approach. Here, I told what? You have to take sales price variance. I am not asking you to consider volume variance. Instead of that, you have to take answer of the market size variance and the answer for the market share variance. Why market size and the market share variance alone have to take? Because whether it's the market size or market share, the impact of the market size and the market share variance having impact on sales quantity only, no. Ultimately, it's going to affect the sales quantity, no. Therefore, volume variance is nothing but here market share variance as well as market share variance, and the combination of both is called total volume. Therefore, you no need to consider again the volume variance. Moreover, in market share and the market size variance, we have multiplied with them budgeted contribution per unit. Sales quantity into contribution per unit, nothing but one, you'll get total value that is equal to application of PV ratio only. Sales into PV ratio will get the contribution. Sales quantity into contribution per unit is equal to total contribution you can get. Therefore, here also we have applied the contribution approach, nothing but marginal costing approach only. Therefore, market size and the market share variance computation for easy, provided you have to remember this format. So, with the market size and the market share variance, many questions are there in the instrument material, and the case study past exam questions also there. So, 20 marks in your packet now. So, you should know what are all the areas frequently asked questions are there. Those areas you have to capture, those areas you have to remember properly. At least those areas you have to concentrate. Next A category item, we are in standard costing. First I told what are all the variance you have to remember, reconciliation you have to remember, market size and market share. The next important one, advanced level variance, is called planning variance and operational variance. Planning and operational variance is also equally important for the exam, based on material as well as based on labor variance, already available in the instrument material itself. Kindly refer. Past exam question, 20 mark question again, based on planning and the operational variance. How to approach the planning and the operational variance? You know, standard nothing but what? Expectation. Expectation minus actual is equal to variance. When expectation is going to happen? When the actual is going to happen? Beginning of the year expectation may going to happen, and the end of the year actual may going to happen. So we can verify the actual only at the end of the period. So difference between the expectation and actual is called the variance. 1st April expectation, 31st March actual. Difference is equal to variance. Suppose some adverse variance has come. Then 100 rupees adverse variance or 100 lakh is adverse variance. So company is going to fire person in charge for the same. You are the, because of your inefficiency only, 100 lakhs variance has happened. So all the variance we are transferring to the workers or what person in charge for the same. But there we have assumed 1st April, beginning of the year expectation was happened. We assume expectation is correct and we are not reaching the actual properly. That is what assumptions with respect to traditional variance. That is called what? Traditional variance. But reality. Again, what? Beginning of the period, I prepared the expectation. During the period, there is a chance of increasing the material cost, increasing the labor cost. Market price might have increased. Am I right? If there is a revision in the material or labor, then I have to revise my standard itself. Revision in standard is required. Therefore, when standard has happened, when revision has happened, thereafter end of the period, actual has happened. Therefore, between expectation to actual, in between one is there. That is called one revision in standard. So we are supposed to revise the standard itself. That is important. That is called revision in standard. If you want to revise the standard itself, what we have to do? We have to cut the variance into two parts. One is traditional approach called expectation to standard. Expectation to actual is called variance. Here what we have to do? Revising the expectation. So, expectation, revised expectation, thereafter actual. Expectation to revised expectation. is called planning variance. There is a variance in planning itself. Planning itself got varied. Expectation itself got changed. Nothing but standard itself we are revising. That's why revised standard comes into picture. Then from revised standard to actual, whatever the variance happen, it may purely because of operational variance. So traditional variance, I told the example, 100 lakh is a total variance. If I am going to revise the standard itself, assume 40 lakhs has come. Standard to revised standard, the variance comes to 40 lakhs. The 40 lakhs is because of planning variance. Remaining 60 lakhs is because of operational variance. Therefore, total variance we can be calculated into two. One is called planning variance, another one is called operational variance. Rather, planning variance plus operational variance is equal to total variance. Understood? Therefore, traditional variance is a combination of planning variance and operational variance. While solving the problem in the examination, you can be in the question to verify how much the total variance under what traditional approach. What about the variance under planning and operational? If you are going to add the both, you will get total variance. So the verification process also will go over. What are the next one? In addition to planning and operational variance. So what and all we have discussed, planning and operational variance. In planning and operational variance also, you have to write what are all the advantages with respect to advanced variance. That concept they asked in the examination. Then controllable variance and uncontrollable variance you have to subclassify the planning variance. What and all within your control, what and all beyond your control, that you have to identify. This may come whenever substitutional materials are there. Price of the one product is cheaper than another product. Then sometimes it may be within your control, shifting from one material to another material so that we can minimize the expenses. That is called one controllable variance. The remaining things called uncontrollable variance. So these are all the manner you have to prepare for standard costing. So this time planning variance, operational variance, market size variance, market share variance, reconciliations, all those things you have to refer. Out of which any one of the question will come under the, any one of the segment will come under the 20 mark for your preparation, 20 mark for your exam. We are discussing about A category item. Case study is important, CVP analysis is important, standard costing is important. Next one is pricing decision. Next important segment for case A category item is pricing decision. Then transfer pricing is important for the exam, A category item. TQM, total quality management. Activity based costing. CVP analysis and decision making. Not another one, DPP and CPA. Direct product profitability and customer profitability analysis. Balance scorecard. Life cycle costing. Value chain analysis. Performance measurement and evaluation. So, in addition to that, in that also you have to remember EVA computation, performance prism, TBM, table bottom line, value for the framework. These are all important in performance measurement itself. So these are all A category item. A category item you should be thorough before you go for the examination. So we'll sum up A category item, case study, CVP analysis, standard costing, advanced variances, pricing decision, transfer pricing, TQM, activity based costing, DPP and CPA, balance scorecard, life cycle costing, value chain analysis, performance measurements and evaluation. This and all comes under one A category item. Now we have to go for B category item. Pareto analysis, throughput accounting, JIT, just in time, EMA, environmental management accounting, lean system and innovation. In that 5S is important, OEE computation is important, OEE computation is important, supply chain management. So this and all comes under what? B category item. The remaining topics comes under the C category items. So concentrate the A category item properly, thoroughly. The remaining category also, you are not afford to lose any topic. You have to refer all the topic, but more focus you can give on A category item. Now, with respect to case studies, what are all the types of case studies based on the post-examination trend that I am going to discuss now? Because SCMP paper, you know the importance of the case studies. 20 marks to 30 marks, maximum 40 marks, chances are there, because minimum 1 question, maximum 2 questions will come from the case studies. What are all the areas or topics you should be thorough for case studies? One is Environmental Management Accounting, EMA. In that, environmental cost, types of environmental cost, that is important. Based on that, they are asking the case studies. You know, various types of environmental cost. Then, environmental management accounting combined with activity-based costing is important for the examination. With activity-based costing. Next, in standard costing with planning and operational, market size, market share variance are important in case studies. TQM, conformance and non-conformance cost based one. And dimming point also, 14 dimming point also important for you. In throughput accounting, optimized production technology, bottleneck and non-bottleneck activities based case study is important. Budgetary control, feedback control and feed forward control is important for the case study. ABC with CPA is important. Activity based costing with customer profitability analysis. That type of case study is important. Just in time with the takt time computation, PCE or MCE, process cycle efficiency, Hejunka, that and all important for JAT. Pareto analysis for case studies. ABC with the standard costing with the budgetary control based case study. Everything post exam questions only. The trend is based on post examination, MTPs and RTPs. Transfer pricing with the key factor based case study. Transfer pricing with the multinational transfer pricing. How to fix the fair transfer price, and if there is a conflict, how to remove the conflict in transfer price. Outsourcing and gain sharing ratio, gain sharing arrangement, that to report format to case studies. You have to prepare the report to the management based on the case studies. Not for the profit organization, NPO, not for the purpose of profit organization. Value for the framework is important. The 4 key challenges faced by the non-profit organization, that is important. The performance measurement criteria is important for non-profit organization. Value chain analysis, cost reduction. Value chain analysis, the cost reduction with the performance prism. That type of case is important. Post exam question also available. Performance prism with value chain analysis. Decision making with the service sector with relevant costing is important. Key factor that comes under the one CVP analysis. Key factor with the minimum conditions to be satisfied. Based on that, you have to solve solution problems there. Problems and solutions are run. ROI, RI, balance scorecard and the MCE combined one problem you have to solve. Return on investment, residual income, balance scorecard, manufacturing cycle efficiency. Previous exam question. Beautiful question. Just you have to go through this. Pricing with economic theory based on MR is equal to MC. Based on that question is important. Then triple bottom line based case study is important. TPM with OEE percentage computation. Then 5S computation. Economic value added. Then 5S basic theory, not computation. Report format 5S. Economic value added. Pricing decision with the life cycle costing. These are all the areas is supposed to thorough with respect to case studies for the coming examination. It's similar to what? For the purpose of computation of total income, whether PGBP is important, deduction is important, set off and carry forward is important. So that if I am going to tell which area you have to focus, those theoretical part, those concepts you are going to thorough means you can handle the case study properly. So kindly note it down. All the above segments are most important for your revision purpose, case study purpose. Then how to handle the case study, that itself beauty. First, you should have the passion to read the question. Many students, after seeing the length of the question, they are getting fear. And many of them not even in the position to understand what is there in this question. That's why the main problem with respect to CA students is what is the problem in the problem. That itself the main problem. Identifying the problem itself will be difficult for them. So you should be thorough in concept, then only you can understand the question itself, because nowadays they are not giving question paper, they are giving question booklet itself. It's equal to one supplementary material for you. So you have to develop your reading habit. In substantial focus is, we are focusing in SCMPE paper on your drafting skill. Majority of the question, drafting skill based question only. How you are going to develop the point, how you are going to give the connection between one topic to another topic in case studies. So the drafting skill we are expecting from you. For that you should be strong in the concept. After reading the case studies, try to identify what all the issues are there in this case study. Some issues will be there, then only case study comes. So what management is, what type of problem facing by the management, that you have to identify. Then to resolve the issue, solution is there in the which topic, whether balance scorecard based or performance prism or TQM approach or JAT. So where the solution is there, which area I have to refer, that we have to identify. Then we have to write the answer in the logical flow. Sequence should be that while addressing the issue. Then where and all possible, kindly put that particular company name. The question starts with the XYZ Limited. Then where and all possible while writing the answer, you have to write what? In XYZ Limited, what and all they have to. So if you are going to write, it looks like what tailor-made answer for that particular question. Then what to do, why to do, how to do, that you have to address while solving the case studies. So that you get the full packaged answer of what? That particular question. Where and all possible, you can use the quotation also. Many quotations are there. Many quotations are given. What type of quotations, where it is useful, that we have to identify. Failure to plan is equal to planning to fail. If there is a flaw in production department, they are not in the purchasing the product in the proper manner, or they are unable to buy the product in the proper manner, or timely delivery is not there. In this juncture, we have to identify. You can quote failure to plan, planning process is not proper. Suppose teamwork is not proper, cooperation is not proper, then we can write the quote, what one can't do, two can do it. What one can do, two can do better. This type of quotation, if you are going to quote, you will get what? It's an ornament for writing the answer. Then, with respect to quality issues comes into picture. You can quote, once we have to concentrate the quality issue problem. Company has to resolve the same. One satisfied customer will bring 10 new customers, may bring 10 new customers. But one dissatisfied customer will take away 100 existing customers. So whenever quality related issues arise in the question, you should know how to address. You can quote this type of quotations. Then everybody's responsibilities should not be nobody's responsibility. It should be everyone's responsibility. This type of quote or quotation you can mention. where and all possible you have to insert. The first I said, you have to identify the question is based on issues based on which topic or which area or which concept. How to identify the same? Whenever you come across make or buy decision, the question is with respect to make or outsource or make or buy decision. Then we have to refer outsourcing topic or service level agreement SLA or gain sharing arrangement. Outsourcing. Do your best, rest you can outsource. So that we can concentrate our main area. Our focus will be that to produce our quality production possible. Our core area we can concentrate. We can be in the position to produce the product with the quality to less effort. And the remaining things I am going to outsource. To whom I am going to outsource? I am going to outsource to the person who is having knowledge over the business. Expert only I need for the purpose of outsourcing my work. In this juncture, that person will take care better manner to produce a product or deliver the services. So, outsourcing decision we can be the person to apply, or service level arrangement and gain sharing agreement. Service level agreement and gain sharing arrangement. Service level agreement and gain sharing arrangement. If company is having tie-up with another party to do some services, then it is called service level arrangement or agreement. There, service level agreement, we are going to pay like a rent, fixed cost you are going to pay. It may be monthly, or based on the agreement you have to pay. Whereas in gain sharing arrangement, depending upon the gain, depending upon the profit, we are going to share. That is called the gain sharing arrangement. If that is a percentage based on what share or profit, then it's a win-win situation for both the people. Service provider also going to get the benefit. Service giver also going to get the both the party can be the person to get the benefit out of gain sharing arrangement. Then the issues based on lead time. The lead time represent time gap between date of order and the date of receipt of goods is called the lead time. Raw material supply, from raw material to finished goods or supply to customer, some sort of lead time is there. Then you have to refer supply chain management or JAT, just in time, or 8 key process of supply chain management. So these are all the areas you have to refer, you have to quote, you have to draft. Suppose the case study is based on mission related problem. Machinery breakdown has happened, some sort of issue with respect to our mission. Then that question may be from TPM, total productive maintenance. There you have to refer the 8 pillars. OEE computation may be important. Overall equipment effectiveness. So performance into, availability into, quality, based on that you have to compute OEE. Then the question is based on, case study is based on minimization of wastage in process, scrap material wastage. Then you have to quote by way of Kaizen costing technique. Other waste, other than what scrap alone, not only scrap alone, other waste, normal time waste, processing waste. In this juncture, you have to refer lean system and innovation. 7 types of waste are there in lean system and innovation. Just in time also you have to refer. Suppose the question is based on office maintenance. Previous exam they asked 10 more questions based on office maintenance. Then you have to refer 5S concept, Japanese terminology, 5S. Sort, set in order, shine, sustain, standardization. That 5S concept you have to explain. There's a ways to improve sales, create new market to sell the product. This type of issues are there. Then relationship marketing, how to refer. That comes under the supply chain management. 6 marketing models are there in relationship marketing. Then introducing the product to the customer, influencing the customer by way of advertising and tempted to buy the product, our company's product. This type of issues are there in this question. Then they are adopting push model. Supply chain management, there are 2 different models are there. One is pull model, another one is push model. Push model, manufacturer is going to produce and transfer the product. They are pushing the product to the customer, dumping the product to the customer. So push model you have to refer. The other one is called pull model. Customer needs the product, thereafter they are going to produce and transfer the product. That is called pull model. Then more competition, survival is still difficult for you. Then how to approach this type of problem is that means. Then we have to refer value chain analysis, VCA. In that competitive advantage you have to refer there low cost advantage, differentiation advantage, that and all you have to refer. Suppose the case study is based on social causes. Even the general public may going to get affected. Then that type of issue you have to address by way of EMA, Environmental Management Accounting. Then whether investment is used properly or not, invested fund has been used properly or not, whether worth investing or not, worth it or not. Then value for money, value for framework, that concept you have to refer. 3E concepts. Then quality related issues are there in this question. In this type of case studies, you have to quote TQM, Total Quality Management, Six Sigma, DME IC, DME DV, those areas you have to cover. Then if the case study is based on reduction in floor space, reduction in time distance, floor space utilization of floor space properly, then we have to approach by way of cellular manufacturing. Case study is based on, the concept is based on cellular manufacturing. Then changes in process of business, we have to refer BPR, business process re-engineering. Suppose introducing the new product or process, new way to approach, then it is called process innovation. Innovation is for new, business process re-engineering, re means for existing product only, re. Then we want to satisfy the customers, customer satisfaction based on customer relationship management, CAP, customer account profitability out of refer, customer's lifetime value. These are all the areas available in supply chain management. Those areas you have to quote. So we are discussing about one, how to identify the topic with respect to the case study, or the case study is based on which topic I would identify. Depending upon the issues involved, you have to find we are in that case study is based on what topic. Then issue with respect to ATG, donation, trust, old age home, orphanage. Then performance measure based on not for the profit organization. The key challenges you have to refer. Then net profit plus opportunity cost to be considered. Then EVA, economic value added. The question is based on plugging back of profit, self-financing concepts. Then shareholders value added you have to refer. One is called economic value added, another one is called shareholders value added. Many occasions this type of question comes into picture. We have to consider all the stakeholders, not only the shareholders. Then we have to refer performance prism. Performance prism. Few students in the examination they wrongly wrote performance pyramid. Performance prism, it's a correct tool. It's when compared to balanced scorecard, performance prism is a superior tool to measure the performance. Then how to fix the standard? for performance of the company, or how to fix the standard, how to reward the employees after achieving the standards, so that we can appreciate. I have to fix the standard and I have to what? Over achieve the object, achieve the target, I want to appreciate them. Then we have to go by way of building block model. Then critical success factor for performance of the company. We have to solve the problem by way of balanced scorecard. 4 different perspectives you have to go note down, have to quote. One is customer perspective, internal business perspective, innovative perspective, and financial perspective. Then conflict due to division as a profit center. Then we have to refer transfer pricing model. Whenever conflict arises, you have to go by way of dual rate transfer pricing and two-part transfer pricing. Then strategy for predicting the future problem. We can go by way of feed forward control. Feed forward control in which topic? Budgetary control topic. Feedback control is there. Another one is one feed forward control there. So these are all the manner you have to identify the area in which the case study question has been raised. So up to this stage, we have completed how to approach the case study. Hope you enjoyed the case study part properly. You can able to handle the case study. Identification of case study made possible for your preparation. The next one is theory. You should be proper. Conceptually, you should be strong with respect to theory part. Post exam questions also you have to refer properly to address the theory part, because number of points also equally important. Mere by way of solving the problem there is no use. While writing the theory, because drafting skill is nowadays more important, how many points you are going to write, that is also equally important in the examination. Whenever theory comes into picture, try to develop your own chart. Chart-wise presentation is advisable. Always write bullet point-wise presentation. Where and all possible you can create the chart. Clear? So this approach make you to score more mark. Further, you have to sit and do the revision properly. What are all the past exam important case direct theory questions has come? With respect to post exam theory is concerned, what are all the stages with respect to implementation of target costing? Create a project charter, obtain a budget, obtain a management sponsor, assign strong stream manager, enroll full-time participant, use project management tool. So these are all the 6 points available in study material. All the 6 points you have to write and you have to elaborate. What all the control points are in target costing? Principal control point, point of go or non-go decision, and a timer point. What are all the 6 business functions of the value chain analysis? Partly considered as internal function, partly considered as external function. Under internal function 3 points are there, external function 3 points are there. R&D, research and development, designing the product, production, marketing, distribution, customer service. These are all what? Various functions with respect to value chain. What are the main activities of value chain analysis? There are 2 types of activities are there in VCA. One is primary activity, another one is supporting activity. So primary activity is the main activity, supporting activity helping for the primary activity. Then 2 ways of competitive advantage is also important. How to tackle the competition. Further, we are having low cost advantage. Another one is called differentiation advantage. Then, what are all the approaches of that for assessing competitive advantage? To assess the competitive advantage, we are having three analysis. One is called internal control analysis, then internal cost analysis, second one is internal differentiation analysis, another one is vertical linkage analysis. I'll repeat, three approaches for assessing competitive advantage. That's a famous question. Internal cost analysis, internal differentiation analysis, and vertical linkage analysis. Next, three strategic frameworks of VCA. What all the strategic frameworks are there? One is industrial structure analysis, core competence analysis, and segmentation analysis. These are all three different strategic frameworks of VCA. Then, what all the cost drivers are there in VCA? With respect to cost driver, it comes under the two places. It's a commonly committed mistake from the student side. Where and all cost driver comes into picture? Okay, one is in value chain analysis, another one is in ABC, activity based costing. So, in value chain analysis, what are all the costs? Because students used to interchange both value chain analysis and activity based costing. In value chain analysis, we are having two cost drivers. What are all the cost drivers in value chain analysis? One is called structural cost driver, another one is called executional cost driver. Structural cost driver is a long term in nature, executional is a short term cost driver in nature. Whereas in ABC also we come across two cost drivers. What are all the? One is called resource cost driver, another one is called activity cost driver. So don't interchange. One is with respect to value chain analysis, another one is with respect to ABC. In ABC, two cost drivers are resource cost driver and activity cost driver. Whereas in VCA, value chain analysis, structural cost driver and executional cost driver. Then, what are all the types of cost with respect to value chain analysis? One is value added cost, another one is non-value added cost. Value added cost represents what? Customers are ready to pay, willing to pay means that activity comes under the value added. For that, whatever the cost you are going to incur, that is called value added cost. Customers are not ready to pay, then it is called non-value added cost. Then, Porter's 5 force analysis, what and all going to influence the profit of the customer. That is also a famous question. 5 force analysis, how it is going to have the impact on the profit. What and all going to have the impact. One is bargaining power of buyer, bargaining power of supplier, substitutional threats of new entrants, and industry's competition. These are all factors which affect the profit, influence the profit. Then, with respect to products life cycle, commonly committed mistake with respect to product life cycles are the two important theory, frequently asked theory, stages in product life cycle. Whenever we come across stages in product life cycle, students are they are writing phases in product life cycle. Immediately write introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. So for kind of information, phases in product life cycle is different, stages in product life cycle is different. So with respect to phases, we are having introduction phase, growth phase, maturity phase, and decline phase. Introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Whereas stages in product life cycle, there are 11 stages are there. One is market research, second one is specification, third one designing, prototype manufacturing, development, tooling, manufacturing, selling, distribution, product support, and decommissioning. So these are all 11 stages. I'll repeat the 11 stages. Market research, specification, designing, prototype, manufacturing, development, tooling, manufacturing, selling, distribution, product support, and decommissioning. These are all 11 stages with respect to product life cycle. What are all the common pitfalls in relevant costing? Commonly committed mistake is called the common pitfalls. What are all the common pitfalls in relevant costing? We assume variable cost means it's a relevant cost, and a fixed cost means it's called irrelevant cost. It's a commonly committed mistake. So all variable costs are relevant costs and all the fixed costs are irrelevant costs. That is not correct. So the commonly committed mistakes are variable costs are relevant, fixed costs are irrelevant is a commonly committed mistake. Why? Sometimes variable costs also irrelevant for decision making. If there is no change in variable cost, when compared to one option to another option, the variable cost is not going to get affected, remain constant mean, then variable cost also irrelevant for decision making. But fixed cost may also sometimes relevant for decision making. In general, fixed costs are relevant costs. But because of changes, if there is an incremental fixed cost, additional fixed cost, avoidable fixed cost, then fixed costs also relevant for decision making. That's the reason there are two common pitfalls are there in relevant costing. One is all variable costs are relevant costs and all fixed costs are irrelevant costs. That statement is not correct. That is what the question itself. Then, what are all the hierarchy in ABC? Also called one types of activities in ABCs. 4 different types of activities are there. Unit level activity, batch level activity, product level activity, facility level activity. For each and every unit, if I am going to incur the cost, that is called a unit level activity. Batch wise, irrespective of the number of units, the batch as a whole, if I am going to incur the cost, that is called batch level activity. Irrespective of the unit or irrespective of the batch, the product as a whole, if I am going to incur the cost, that is called a product level activity. To produce the product and sell the product to reach the customer, what all the costs I am going to incur. For the purpose of facilitating the produce of product is called facility level activity. For that, we are having 3 key elements of ABB. ABB represents activity based budget. Types of cost, types of work, quality of work, types of work, quantity of work, and cost of work. Then next important theory is role of JAT with respect to eliminating wastage of resources. How JAT helps us to minimize the wastage of resources? 4 ways are there. One is reduction in inventory level, reduction in wastage of time, reduction in scrap rate, and reduction in overhead cost. These are the 4 ways in which reduction in JAT helps us to reduce the wastage of resources. Inventory level, wastage, time waste, scrap rate wastage, and reduction in overhead cost. Even with respect to time, 4 different times with respect to reductions are there. Storage time, inspection time, handling time, and queue time. There and all, they are reducing the time. Then, stages in benchmarking. It's a famous question. What are all the stages are there? There are 5 stages are there with respect to implementation of benchmarking. Planning, collection of data, analyzing, recommendation, and reviewing. These are all one stages with respect to implementation of benchmarking. What are all the various types of benchmarkings are available? There are 6 types of benchmarking available. Competitive benchmarking, strategic benchmarking, global benchmarking, process benchmarking, internal benchmarking, and external benchmarking. These are all types of benchmarking. If you go for benchmarking, you need a code of conduct. What are all the various code of conducts are there? 7 code of conducts are there. Principle of legality, principle of exchange, principle of confidentiality, principle of first party contract, principle of third party contract, principle of preparation, and a principle of usage. These are all what? Code of conduct with respect to benchmarking. If you want to implement the benchmarking, what all the prerequisites are there? First, we have to get the support from top management. We should have the clarity with respect to the scope of work. Availability of information should be sufficient information. Availability of information should be sufficient. And we have to communicate to stakeholders. These are all the 4 prerequisites with respect to implementation of benchmarking. Theory of consent, what are the 3 key measures are there? One is called throughput accounting, throughput contribution. Second one is operating cost. Third one is investment. These are all called 3 key measures with respect to TOC. What all the prospectives are there in the benchmarking? Balance scorecard. Customer perspective. It's a very famous question even for case study based one. Customer perspective, internal business perspective, innovative perspective, and financial perspective. With respect to DPP, many people not even know what is DPP stands for. DPP and CPA, one of the topic is that direct product profitability and customer profitability analysis. With respect to direct product profitability, what all the benefits are there? Better cost analysis, better pricing decision, better management of store space, and relation with the product range. What are all the product ranges are there that we have to identify. These are all one benefits of direct product profitability. Rationalization of the product range is important. What are all the indirect costs with respect to categories of indirect costs with respect to DPP? Overhead cost is there, volume related cost, product batch cost, and inventory financing. These are all one categories of indirect cost under DPP. What are all the core concept of 3 core concepts with respect to TQM? Quality control, quality assurance, and quality management. Quality control talks about past, quality assurance is for present, and quality management is for future. What are the 4 types of quality costs are there? Prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, and external failure cost. With respect to quality, how to appraise the quality? That is called the features, nothing but dimension with respect to quality. So the dimensions are 9 dimensions are available: features, conformance, aesthetics, durability, performance, reliability, response, reputation, and service. These are all called 9 dimensions with respect to appraise the quality. If you want to implement the TQM, what all the stages are there? 8 stages are there with respect to implementation of TQM. Identification of customer, expectation of customer, decision making, problem, benchmarking, feedback, implementation, and improvement. These are all one stages with respect to implementation of TQM. In TQM, price represent what? Analysis. Problem, ranking, P for problem, R for ranking, A for analyzing, I for innovation, S for solution, E for evaluation. That is called price analysis. Then, what is called Shewhart cycle? It's also called PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, and act is called PDCA cycle. What all the essential requirements are there in TQM? Popularly called 6 C's in TQM. Commitment, culture, control, cooperation, continuous improvement, and customer focus. These are all what? 6 C's in TQM. What about the fundamental principles of TQM? there are 4 P's are there. That is called fundamental principles. People, process, problem and preparation, called 4 P's. Then the next important theory question. We are discussing about the post exam theory questions. What all they ask me. What are the utilities of transfer pricing? First one, performance evaluation. The main utility with respect to transfer pricing is performance evaluation. The next one is employee engagement and compensation. Then resource allocation. Yes. Then taxation and profit remittance. These are all what? Main utilities with respect to transfer pricing. I'll repeat. Performance evaluation, employees engagement and compensation, resource allocation, taxation and one, profit remittance. What are the various methods of transfer pricing available? Cost based transfer pricing, market size based transfer pricing and negotiated transfer pricing. Even under cost based transfer pricing, we are having variable manufacturing cost, actual manufacturing cost, full cost, standard cost. Even what? Cost plus profit, cost plus markup. These are all the various ways in which we are having transfer pricing. If there is a conflict in transfer pricing, how to remove? That's a famous question. One is dual rate transfer pricing, another one is two-part transfer pricing. What are all the drawbacks with respect to dual rate transfer pricing? It can complete the record. It may complicate what? It can complicate the record. And profit shown by the device or maybe the artificial profit. That type of what? Practical difficulties with respect to dual rate transfer pricing. Then, what are all the different market structures are available? The market structure comes under pricing decision. What are all the market? Monopoly market, monopolistic market, oligopoly market and perfect market. Then, what are all the pricing strategies are there in oligopoly market? Predatory pricing, entry for volume pricing, nothing but limited pricing strategy, cost plus pricing and non-pricing strategy. These are all 4 pricing strategies of oligopoly. What are all the way in which price customizations are there? Customization based on product line, based on customer behavior, based on demography and based on time intervals. Democracy based on time interval. Then factors for price sensitivity. What are all the factors which affect the sensitivity of the price? One is unique value effect. If it is a unique one, then that may going to affect the sensitivity of price. Substitutional awareness effect. More than one product available. Then accordingly price negotiation may going to happen. Difficult comparative effect. Similar product is not at all available. Then we can fix whatever the price we want. Total expenditure effort, end benefit effort, shared cost effort, sunk investment effort, price quality effect, and what? Inventory effect. These are all the 9 factors which has influence on price sensitivity. What all the different pricing methods are there? One is competitive pricing, cost based pricing and value based pricing. With respect to value based pricing, what all the methods are there? Object value method or perceived method. One is object value, another one is perceived method. Then, what are all the categories of new product in strategic pricing? One is revolutionary product, another one is evolutionary product, and third one is me too product. These are all the three different strategies, three different categories. Then, in which circumstance penetrating pricing can be adopted? Penetrating can be adopted. Demand of the product is elastic to the price. Substantial savings on the large scale of production possible mean then we can go for penetrating pricing. And threat of competition. More competitor more going to come. Then to avoid the same we can go by way of penetrating pricing. Then what is called the price adjustment policy? So many questions they ask from pricing decision itself. Price adjustment policy. One is distributors discount. Second one is quality discount. Third one, cash discount. Next, price discrimination and geographic pricing. These are all one price adjustment policies. What are the types of competitive pricings are there? That is a very famous question. The two types, going rate pricing and sealed bid pricing. These are all one competitive pricing policy. What are the types of market entering pricing strategy? Based on that, many case studies come. Two different types are there here also. One is skimming pricing strategy. Another one is penetration pricing strategy. Skimming and penetration. Then types of price discrimination. One is based on customer, based on product, based on place and based on time. These are all one price discrimination. Four different types of price discrimination. Then what are the pricing policies? For non-cost reasons. One is price discrimination, another one is peak load pricing. These are all one non-cost reasons are important with respect to pricing. Then with respect to segregation of variable cost, what all the ways are there? Because many occasions in standard costing as well as CVP analysis, cost segregation, variable and fixed cost segregations are there. What all the methods are there? Graphical method, analytical method, high point, low point method, least square method and comparison method. What are the non-cost factors for shutdown? One is interest of the worker. Workers are there, therefore I don't want to close down the business. Second one, competition. And the third one, depreciation. These are all non-cost factors with respect to one shutdown decision. Then, what are all the assumptions in cost reduction? Popularly called threefold assumptions in cost reduction. One is permanent in nature. Second one, savings in cost per unit. And third one, quality of the product remain unaffected. The definition itself was real and permanent savings in cost per unit without affecting the quality of the product is called cost reduction. The same definition they are cut into different slices. Then, in which circumstance it may be justifiable to fix the price below the variable cost? One is perishable product nature. Then, large quantum of stock has been accumulated. Then, to boost the another sales, another products. Then, to popularize a new product we can do. Capture the foreign market. Avoid shutdown cost or capture prospective market. These are all the way, these are all the circumstances. It is justifiable to fix the selling price below the marginal cost itself. Then, 12 major areas in which decision making, 12 major areas of decision making in which differential costing is used. Where and all we can use the differential costing. CVP analysis questions based on the areas in which differential costing technique has been used. So if you know all the 12 areas, you can have the grip over the CVP analysis question properly. Where and all you have to apply, because in examination they won't specify in which circumstance you have to use the differential costing technique. where and all you have to use make or buy decision, whether to process further or not, dropping or adding a new product line, making the best use of an investment made, acceptance of an additional order from the special customer at the lower price, opening a new sales territory, submitting tenders, lease or buy decision, equipment replacement decision, capital expenditure decision, sales mix decision, and production planning. These are all the area in which we can use differential costing technique. Then, with respect to zero-based budgeting, what are all the limitations are there? We need availability of skilled labor, that may be the limitation. It's a time-consuming process, costly also, create various operational problems, requires full support of top management. Then, what are the advantages of beyond budgeting? Now, the concept of beyond budgeting is very frequently they're asking the examination. One is more adaptive process than traditional budget. Another one is decentralized process. That's the reason the beyond budgeting concept has been developing like kind of thing. What are the two ways of cost plus markup price transfer pricing? One is based on percentage on full cost. Another one is percentage of capital employed. If I am going to treat the division as a profit center, what are the disadvantages may going to happen? It comes under one, transfer pricing. What are the disadvantages of treating division as a profit center? One is incremental profit of the transferring division is equal to incremental cost of the recipient division. It affects the cooperation between the divisions. With lack of harmony may going to happen. Duplication of staff activity may happen. Top management loses the control. Risk of mistake committed by the divisional manager may possible. Difficult in identifying the profit center. These are all disadvantages of treating division as a profit center. Why we need ABC? Main reason for ABC. One is production. Activity-based costing is useful when production overheads are high in relation to direct cost. The direct costs are high means there is no need for ABC at all. Great diversity in product range. Product use different amount of overhead resources, and the computation of overhead resource not primarily depend on volume. In these junctures, we have to use ABC. Then, what are the main areas? ABC can be used as a decision making tool. Where and all we can use the ABC. One is TQM, total quality management. Then product profitability decision, facility and resource expansion, and HR decision. Then major applications of Pareto analysis, where and all we can apply product pricing, CPA, customer profitability accounting, ABC analysis, activity based costing, and quality control. What are the problems with respect to benchmarking? Backflation. One is total production with respect to application of backflation. You should be in the position to know. Total production quantity must be absolutely correct. All abnormal scrap must be tracked. Lot tracing is difficult. Difficult to maintain accurate set of inventory record in the warehouse. These are all what problems you are facing with respect to backflation. Then, what are the major constraints on throughput accounting? Uncompetitive selling price is a constraint. Timely delivery of product to the customer. Lack of product quality. Lack of reliable material supplier. Shortage of production resources. These are all what constraints with respect to throughput accounting. Then, steps for goal-toward improvement performance. What all the steps are there? One is identification of bottlenecks. Exploit the bottleneck and utility fully. Subordinate or synchronize the bottlenecks. Evaluate the performance of bottlenecks. and repeat the process as a new bottleneck emerges. These are all one 5 steps process. Then, what are the key process of supply chain management? We are having 8 key process. CRM, Customer Relationship Management. SRM, Supplier Relationship Management. Customer Service Management. Demand Management. Order Fulfillment. Manufacturing Flow Management. Product Development and Customization. And Return Management. These are all 8 key process. What are the types of waste in lean system? There are 7 types of waste are there. One is overproduction, inventory, waiting time, motion, transportation, rework from the defect, over processing. These are all 7 types of waste in lean system. Then 5 categories of lean manufacturing. What are they? Zero waiting time, zero inventory, full process, continuous flow of production, and a reduction in process time. These are all categories with respect to. What are the 5 S phases? Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. 4 stages in TPM: preparation stage, introduction stage, implementation stage, and institutionalization stage. What all the pillars are there in TPM? There are 8 pillars: autonomous maintenance, focused improvement, planned maintenance, early management, quality maintenance, education and training, office TPM, safety and healthy environment. These are all pillars with respect to TPM. Next important theory question is goals of cellular manufacturing. There are 3 goals are there with respect to cellular manufacturing: to move as quickly as possible. Second one, make a wide variety of similar product. Third one, making as a little waste as possible. These are all goals with respect to cellular manufacturing. 6 Sigma, what are all the methodologies are there? One is DMA-IC and one is DMA-DV. Then process innovation, where and all we can be in the position to use the process innovation. One is in production, another one is in delivery, and last one is support service. Then with respect to BPR, what are all the components are there in BPR? 4 components are there: business process re-engineering. One is fundamental rethinking, radical design, achieve improvement, achieving the dramatic improvement, end-to-end business process. These are all components with respect to BPR. What are the stages in BPR? 4 stages are there. Process identification, process rationalization, then process reassembly, and the process redesigning. These are all stages with respect to BPR. What are all the major areas of application of EMA? Very famous question. Product pricing, budgeting, internal appraisal, cost estimation, savings in environmental projects. Types of environmental cost, most important, because case study based questions came. One is conventional cost, hidden cost, contingent cost, and relationship cost. Previous exam, that question came from types of environmental cost, that too based on another types: environmental prevention cost, environmental appraisal cost, environmental internal failure cost, and environmental external failure cost. Next, what are the management accounting technique for identification and allocation of environmental cost? Again, based on the 20 mark case study has come. Input output analysis, flow cost analysis, flow cost accounting, life cycle costing, and ABC. What all the marketing models are there? 6 marketing models are there. As of now, this area untouched for case study. So chances are there any point of time they can ask. One is internal market, referral market, influence market, recruitment market, suppliers market, and customer market. What are all the 4 main supporting activities of VCA? Procurement, technological development, human resource management, and infrastructure. So based on primary as well as supporting activity of VCA, case study questions are comes. It's most important. So you have to develop all the point. Supporting means 4 supporting activity, and primary means 5 primary activities are there. What are all the 4 supporting activities? Procurement, technological development, human resource management, and infrastructure. Then 3 major groups of variance in standard costing. What are they? Efficiency variance, price variance, and volume variance. These are all 3 different variances. Then, what are the parts in 2-part transfer pricing? Marginal cost plus transfer pricing, lump sum fixed cost transfer pricing. They are all 2 parts in 2-part transfer pricing. Then, what are the ways of transfer pricing in dual rate system? Variable cost plus opportunity cost, full cost plus markup. Then, with respect to benefits of ABM, activity-based management, it focuses on cost reduction, aids to implement ABB, activity-based budgeting, helps to clear understanding of business processing cost, helps management in decision making, helps to identify key resources. Then, what are the advantages of target costing? Aids to plan for production and marketing, enhancing employee awareness and empowerment, partnership with suppliers, minimize non-valid activity, help to select low-cost activities area. Then, what all the cost reduction techniques are there? Value engineering, value analysis, time and motion study, job evaluation to merit rating, even Kaizen costings are comes under technique with respect to reduce the cost. Cost reduction techniques. Then, what all the conditions should be satisfied for relevant cost? Occur in the future, difference among the alternative course of action. It should occur in the future, difference among the alternative course of action. 4 types of feedback, because feedback and feed forward controls are important in budgetary control. One is primary feedback, secondary feedback, negative feedback, and positive feedback. Clear? So, these are all what? Very frequently asked question in the examination, in addition to case studies question. So, as of now, we have discussed about what and all relevant for the examination, what all the A category item, B category item, the C category item. Then, how to approach case studies. Thereafter, what are all the areas you should be thorough in with respect to theory part. Hope up to this stage he enjoyed. Am I right? Now, if you have any other doubt as of now, you can ask. What's the cause of students? Any doubts from the student side, viewers? It's because of volunteers. Okay. Good. So we'll have a small break. Thereafter I can continue.